Hey, we live in a noisy world, don't we? I mean, there's a lot of noise right now. And so I have a kind of a strange question for you today, and I hope you'll stick with me for a few minutes to work to the answer. What kind of noise are you? There's a lot of noise, a lot of people making noise, a lot of distracting noises, a lot of things that are filling our hearts with fear and maybe worry, anxiety. Whatever's coming at you today, I want to challenge you to flip the script a little bit, reverse the narrative, and instead of just consuming noise, let's make some noise. I'm Pastor Cary, and this is Growing in the Gospel. I'm so glad you've joined me. We are starting a new psalm today. We just finished Psalm 99, and what a great journey it was, really looking at the exaltation of God, his reigning power and prominence, and his holiness. And I don't know about you, but these psalms just move me. They ground me. They give me durability and strength. I mean, just understanding who my God is, understanding who I am in his grace and mercy, and who he calls me to be, and what he's given me to do. It's such a great journey, and I'm glad you're taking it with me. And I love it when we get to begin a new psalm. As you know, as I'm recording this, I'm preparing to take a group to Greece for a Journeys of Paul trip. And I'm hoping by the time you're watching this that I will have already posted a couple of update videos on the channel. But maybe look for that later this afternoon as well. But right now, I want you to join me in Psalm 100. Psalm 100 is a short psalm. We will be in this psalm for 3 days, and there's just 5 verses, but there's just some beautiful realities here. And the first one is about noise. And I mean this when I say we live in a world that is noisy and wanting always to fill your heart and mind with noise and wanting really to kind of seize you up and put noise into you. When God's call really for his children then and now is that we make some noise, okay? And that's what this song invites us to do. Make some noise. And I'm not just talking about music, although this psalm is probably talking mostly about worship and music. I think that whatever noise we make, it ought to be noise that brings attention and glory to God. We ought to be a joyful noise. We ought to be an optimistic, faith-filled noise. We ought to be a hopeful noise. We ought to be a comforting, encouraging noise, because that's why God has left us here. So Psalm 100, verses 1 through 5, and our tradition is that when we introduce a new psalm, we read it together, we get some of the high view, some of the full picture of the psalm, and then we think on this throughout the day. So I will not be long today, but look at it with me. Psalm 100, verses 1 through 5. Make, now that's a directive, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him, and bless his name. For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations. So I want you to catch this as we do this flyby. This psalm is like a bullet. It's like one bullet after the next of a bullet point list of responses to God. It's a call to you and to me if we belong to him, if you belong to Jesus. This is a call to you to do some things that matter to God. At our church, we've been studying Revelation 2, the churches of Asia Minor, 2 and 3. I've longed for many years to do a study of these churches, and I'm doing it in 3 weeks because we're doing the whole book of Revelation. I really want to go back someday and do a message on each of the churches, a separate series. But in these churches, Jesus says the same thing to all of them. He says, I know your works. I know what you're doing. I know the things that you're doing, not only as a church, but individually. He says later, let him that has ear to to hear what the Spirit says to the churches. I mean, so it's individual. It's not just corporate bodies he's talking to. He's talking to individuals in those bodies. And so we come to Psalm 100, and you and I, we've got some directives today. So let's focus back through the psalm real quick on the verbs, okay? And I want to challenge you to take these verbs seriously as a follower of Jesus. Number one is make. And literally make some noise, okay? Now, not just any noise, make a joyful noise. Whatever noise you make, it needs to be a joy-inducing. It needs to be a full of joy kind of noise, but make noise. Number two, serve. Serve gladly, with gladness. Number three, come before his presence. With singing, by the way. Number four, know who he is. He is God. He's made us. We don't belong to ourselves. We are his sheep. He's our shepherd. Enter into his presence with thanksgiving. Be thankful. That's 6. And bless. That's 7. And then verse 5 gives us the reason to do all these things. 7 actions, 7 verbs. That's interesting that it's 7. I didn't think about that before. I just counted them up. But that's really God's number of completion. It's almost like God's saying, hey, in 5 verses, let me tell you what I'm interested in receiving from you. Okay. First of all, I'm interested in hearing from you. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord. I'm interested, number 2, in working through you. So serve me gladly. Number 3, I'm interested in knowing you and you knowing me. So here's what I want you to know about me. Number 4, I want to spend some time with you. So enter into my gates. Come to me with thanks and with gratitude. And be thankful. When you get here and you join me, be thankful. And bless me. So I'm interested in hearing from you, interested in spending time with you, interested in hearing blessing from you. Why? Because the Lord is good. His mercy is infinite. It's everlasting. His truth endures to all generations. It's all about him. It's not about me. It's not about us. It's not about you. It's all about God. It's a good thing to say this to yourself every day. He is God and I am not. He is God and I am not. But today, I do want to challenge you to make some noise. I mean, pray out loud, sing out loud, speak out loud. Think of things for which you can give thanks and you can bless his name. So let me come back to my question. What kind of noise are you? You're going to make noise today. Is it going to be grumbling noise, complaining noise, irritated noise, frustrated noise? Is it going to be angry noise? Is it going to be yelling and screaming noise? What kind of noise do other people hear from you? Frankly, the question, what kind of noise are you in this world? Because God calls you and me to be a joyful noise. So you've got a mouth, you've got the ability, whatever abilities God's given to you, to make some noise, to be a good representative of the heart of God to others and to humanity, to this world. So that is Growing in the Gospel for today. What kind of noise are you? And I do hope you make some joyful noise to God today, and hope whatever's ahead for you, that you are encouraged and blessed. And I hope you will pray for me and the group that's on the trip as we return at the end of this week. We're looking forward to that. But pray for safety in travels. And I'm praying for you. Drop a comment, leave a question, subscribe, stick around, share the video, and have a great day. See you tomorrow.